Art Berlero taught me this, and I love it. And it was the same thing that he struggled with. He knew a lot of people. It was a second career, and he just didn't really know how to position those meetings, those casual coffee meetings, because he wasn't calling people and saying, "I'd like to get together with you and see how I can help you." He says, "I'd like to buy you a cup of coffee and tell you what I'm doing." Well, that's not a discovery meeting. I can't get there and say, "By the way, are you in the market? What are you doing? Who are you working with? What's he got you?" And you can't do that because that's not how I got the premise of the meeting. And he said, and I also struggled with how do I get them to see me in a bigger picture than just somebody that's helping people in the market and with their investments. So here's what he does. So let me give you this. If you guys put a plus sign on your piece of paper, just 1 inch by 1 inch, plus sign, and I'm gonna give you what to put in the 4 boxes here, the 4 quadrants, and then I'll tell you how Art uses this. So in the upper left-hand box, write down income. In the upper right, write down taxes. In the lower left, write down growth. And in the lower right, write down transitions. All right. Now, here's how Art has those meetings with the people that you're talking about, Michael. Is he gets a meeting saying, "I'd like to tell you what I'm doing right now." Get a reaction. You're probably working with somebody. No big deal. So he has a casual coffee meeting with them. Now at that casual coffee meeting, they're catching up, on old times, and then he comes around to saying, "Michael, can I take a second and just tell you a little bit about my role and kind of what I'm doing over here at Merrill right now?" I said, "Sure." He says, "Well, as you can imagine, what we do is we help people with their investments and their retirement strategies." By the way, he says that first because that's what they think you do. They think you give them a second opinion on Apple. They think you help them with retirement strategies, and we do, but that's not all we do. So he says that up front. He says, we help people with investments and their retirement strategies, but there's so many more things that we do on a day-to-day basis that I think bring value to people in their lives. For example, and then he'll draw that plus sign on the back of a coaster or on a napkin, and that may not be your style, but that's what he would do, is he'll draw that plus sign. He says, and he'll say, but there's so many more things that we do that I think bring value to clients every day. For example, one of the things that we do is we help families here in Boca Raton with simple ways to generate more income, and he writes income, more income than they're getting from their existing bank. Most people that we work with have a relationship in a bank. They like it because it's safe. They don't like it because it doesn't generate income. So we help people just take a look at their banking relationship and find safe, conservative ways to generate more income than they get from their bank. That's the first thing. The second thing that we do is we help families with strategies to lower their taxes. Now, not like a CPA, but with investment strategies to lower their taxes. Sometimes we're able to help people lower their taxes and generate more income than they're getting. But in any event, we spend a lot of time with tax strategies, find tax-free income, things like that. That's the second thing. The third thing that we do is we help families take a look at their current investments that are earmarked for certain events in their life and just make sure they're growing at the proper rate of return. Retirements, second homes, kids' education. If they're starting to save for those areas, make sure that they're growing at the proper rate of return. Most people are making money in the market today. We just want to make sure that they're making money based on what's going on in the market and make sure they're not overpaying in their fees. So that's the third thing we do. And then, Michael, I think probably where we spend most of our time is just simply helping families that are going through transitions, write down transitions, go through transitions in their life that impact them financially. When they sell a business, when they change jobs, when they retire from a company, when they come into an inheritance, when they sometimes have to go through a death or a divorce, but they go through these transitions, it impacts them in their lives financially. We help come in and add some clarity to that. Michael, as I kind of lay this out, I don't know. Are any of these areas that you and Martha are faced with right now? Any of these issues you guys might be faced with? Or if he wants to be more direct, he'll say, Michael, I'm sure you're taken care of, but one of the reasons I wanted to get together with you is I know you know a lot of people here in Boca. I don't know, do you know anybody that maybe these are issues that they're faced with that might be good for me to meet and share with? But in any event, it's a bigger picture rather than just saying we do financial planning in that sense. So, Michael, your thoughts or reaction on that as I go through that? I threw a lot at you, but you get the spirit of it, and the spirit of it is these folks have got to see the bigger picture. And again, it doesn't have to come across selling, but what Art tells me, because I've laid out 6 things here that we're telling people we do, and then it's kind of like, I don't know, any of these areas that you're faced with, issues you're faced with. He says, Jack, most times they're all faced with one of those issues. And then I just simply say, "What you want to talk about that? When you say you're looking for ways to reduce taxes, what sort of things are you doing right now? In addition to your home, do you have any other tax write-offs? If I could show you a way to generate and reduce your taxes legally, would you be interested? Would you be intrigued by that? Right? I think if you do that, you're going to find some opportunities, some pressing needs that people have along that line. So.